Hello everyone, today we are starting the story of a young man who was granted a second chance. Going back in time to 10 days, the world plunged into the darkness of an apocalypse. In this grim reality, the entire world has become a brutal arena for evolution. It's humanity's greatest opportunity and trial, as well as a playground for gods and demons alike. With a direct injection of the zombie virus, he awakens an SSS-level talent, the Virus King. Now, he embarks on an extraordinary path of evolution, wielding control over the virus itself. Join us as we go deeper into the tale. Please leave a like as today's like goal is 1,500 likes. Hit the subscribe button for more videos. So let's start the story without any delay. The tale begins as the goddess of darkness, Heloise, flies over the White Demon Castle. Her voice rings out furiously as she addresses the young man below as the White Demon Saint Chen Bai. She berates him for his failure in the mission, declaring that his incompetence has put her in a foul mood. With venom in her words, she commands him to go to hell. Tensing up, Chen implores Lady Goddess Heloise to wait, seeking another chance based on his past accomplishments. However, Heloise swiftly rebuffs him, asserting that lowly humans have no right to request opportunities. She declares that his white magic castle will be obliterated along with the darkness. Suddenly, black waves rise at the White Demon Castle, enveloping Chen from all sides and dragging him downward into the river of darkness. As he's pulled by the waves, he wonders how, despite nearly completing 100 tasks for the Lady Goddess, one failure means he's going to be wiped out simply because he's a lowly human. In a moment of defiance, he refuses to accept his fate and starts laughing hysterically. Just before being fully consumed by the darkness of the water, he defiantly shows his middle finger to Lady Goddess Heloise and shouts that he will fuck her no matter what. Within the darkness of the water, Chen is surrounded by endless blackness, sinking deeper into it. Suddenly, his hourglass locket activates and miraculously, Chen wakes up in his bed, still furiously shouting at Lady Goddess Heloise. Upon seeing his surroundings, Chen is shocked and begins to wonder how he isn't dead yet and where he is. After analyzing the room carefully, he realizes that it's his dorm room from his college days. He starts to wonder how he ended up there and why he wasn't killed by Lady Goddess Heloise. The decades of turmoil felt so real to him that he begins to question if it could have been a dream. Suddenly, his focus shifts to his hourglass locket and he notices something strange. He remembers that the hourglass was the item he obtained 20 years after the arrival of the universal will when the trial began. He also remarks that the hourglass is the most ever seen. It couldn't display his attributes and couldn't be destroyed, so he always kept it with him. He carefully looks at the hourglass and wonders. He remembers that the sand was at the bottom and it wouldn't flow even when turned upside down, but now, to his surprise, so he interprets that time as reversed. Seriously, he checks the time and discovers the day of June 5th, 2032, just 10 days before the arrival of the universal will and the start of the apocalypse. Chen reflects that in 10 days on June 15th, the universal will would officially arrive and begin the trail. During this time, more than 90% of humanity will perish and will transform into various zombies and monsters. All the conventional weapons will fail and the whole world will witness its demise in just one night. However, along with the dangers of the universal trial come opportunities. Those who survive will awaken innate abilities within themselves. Many magical equipment and items from various realms will also descend to Earth along with the universal will. These treasures garner the interest of gods who govern the rules of the universe, and since these gods couldn't directly intervene in the trial, they entice humans under the guise of protection, seeking to reap benefits from it. Ken reflects that in his previous life he wasn't strong enough, and after much struggle, he eventually joined under Lady Goddess Heloise's command. He desperately completed the tasks she assigned, striving to elevate his status. However, he never anticipated being erased simply due to one failed mission. As he glances at his mobile phone, breaking news flashes across the screen. The first headline sparks chatter about a new disease reminiscent of rabies or cinematic zombies. The second headline reports on patients at Jiangxing Hospital exhibiting erratic behavior, resorting to biting others. Lastly, a third headline describes an unbelievable event. A body undergoing forensic dissection suddenly awakens. Rising from his seat, he absorbs the tumultuous updates and resolves to forge his own strength, determined not to rely on others. He vows to achieve such strength that even the demon goddess Heloise will kneel before him and sets out towards an uncertain destination. Along the way, Chen recalls that 10 years after the trial began, someone claimed to have discovered the only way to upgrade innate abilities. This person revealed that 10 days before the trial started, innate abilities actually became effective, and if one discovered and utilized their abilities during this period, it could upgrade them. Arriving at the hospital, Chen masks up and strides in with a clear strategy. Reflecting on his past life, he recalls his E-ranked virus resistance innate ability. He now believes that to upgrade his ability, he must use the virus to trigger and strengthen it in advance. Inside, he overhears a doctor and nurse discussing the unprecedented disease. The doctor marvels at the unfamiliar symptoms, while the nurse likens the patient to a scene from a movie. Approaching the patient's room, Chen observes the restrained figure and confirms its transformation into a zombie. Armed with a syringe, he moves to draw its blood, explaining to the zombie that its cooperation is vital for his training. With a sufficient sample secured, Chen anticipates triggering his innate ability. Following that, he checks the dormitory to see if anyone is around and realizes it's empty. He deduces that everyone is gone as they had stayed up all night. Preparing to inject the zombie's blood into himself, he hesitates briefly, knowing that if the theory is wrong, he might die. Yet brushing aside the consequences, he plunges the needle into his arm without hesitation. Reflecting on his struggles before the reset, enduring decades of weakness until finally making progress, he fears squandering opportunities if he remains feeble, despite knowing the future. Death seems preferable to restarting and remaining weak. As the blood courses through his veins, he collapses suddenly. Upon awakening, he finds himself back in the White Demon Castle, confronted by Heloise urging him to relinquish resistance and embrace the darkness. This time, however, Chen rises defiantly, vehemently declaring his intent to conquer Heloise. He then asks himself how he could fall here. Back at the hospital, Chen regains consciousness, walking strangely. Some people enter the room and are stunned to see Chen, his nerves seemingly protruding from every end, with blood coming out from his eyes and mouth. Recognizing Chen Bai, one of them anxiously queries him about the situation. Chen, momentarily stunned by the boy's presence, joyfully asks if he's back. With a nod, the boy agrees. Chen then excuses himself to wash his face, which the boy acknowledges with a simple okay. In the washroom, he gazes at his reflection, a smile spreading across his face as the theory proves true. The zombie virus didn't claim his life, and his innate abilities successfully upgraded. Wondering about the level of his newfound power, he is startled to hear a voice congratulating him on being chosen as a pioneer and receiving the title of Pioneer and Awakening in advance. Hearing this, he realizes it's the voice of the universal will, and he feels happy that he has successfully awakened. He commands the interface to display the title information, and a screen materializes before him, detailing the privileges of being a pioneer. It states that individuals who could discover, utilize, and train their abilities before the trial began were eligible for this title. Notably, it enhances their attributes by 5% and boosts experience gained by 10%. Moreover, pioneers have the advantage of awakening the attribute panel in advance. Reading this, Chen feels delighted about the percentage boost, realizing it's a perfect title for him. Then he commands to open the panel of the innate ability, where his ability level shows as SSS, indicating he possesses a great amount of power within himself. It's revealed that the virus monarch reigns supreme as the mightiest skill in the virus element, capable of absorbing, utilizing, manipulating, transforming, and creating viruses. Chen reflects on his current abilities, noting that he can only absorb viruses with a limited range. Realizing the need for a significant virus supply to enhance his power, he heads back to the hospital. However, his return is met with chaos as people rush towards him, some pleading for help while others warn of a zombie outbreak signaling the end of the world. Recalling crucial information from his past life about peculiar incidents in Jiangxing before the trial, Chen recognizes the sealed hospital as the source. Ignoring bystanders' inquiries, he charges towards the zombie-infested area. As he absorbs the virus, his Virus Monarch talent skill begins accumulating points which could be used to strengthen abilities. After absorbing one zombie, he relentlessly pursues every other undead, boldly declaring that no zombie can evade him. Meanwhile, on the 4th floor of the hospital building, zombies relentlessly pound on the restroom door where Liu Feng, the hospital director, and nurse Sui Xin are trapped. Liu Feng grimly admits to Sui Xin that escape seems impossible. The door won't hold much longer, and they are doomed. He then turns to Sui Xin, his eyes filled with lust as he laughs. Sui Xin, crying and wondering what to do, suddenly notices Liu Feng's strange behavior and asks what's wrong with him. With a sinister grin, Liu Feng approaches her, saying he has pursued her for so long, but she never agreed. Now that they are about to die, he suggests she let him enjoy himself before they die. Shocked by his behavior, Sui Xin questions his sanity. Ignoring her, Liu Feng becomes increasingly desperate as the zombies breach the door. Panicked, he seizes Sui Xin, using her as a shield and pushing her towards the zombies to save himself. As he attempts to flee, he finds himself cornered at a window. With no other escape, he tries to jump but becomes stuck, vulnerable to the approaching zombies. 7 minutes later, the ground is strewn with the bodies of the bitten victims. Chen arrives at the scene and spots a medical staff girl seemingly unharmed. Recognizing the recent bite marks, he realizes there may still be time before she transforms. With the military preparing to seal the area, Chen determines he needs someone familiar with the hospital layout to navigate. Resolute, he decides to extract all the virus from her to halt the transformation. In a swift motion, he drains all the virus from her, saving her from turning into a zombie. Moments later, she regains consciousness, confirming Chen's success. Suixin expresses her gratitude to Chen for saving her. He remarks that it seems she hasn't completely lost consciousness. Suixin confirms with a yes, indicating her awareness of what had transpired. Chen then informs Suixin that he requires her assistance with something urgent. Agreeing to help, Suixin requests a change of clothes first. Chen, sensing the urgency, grabs Suixin's hand and begins to pull her, insisting there is no time for that. He implores her to lead him to the area in the hospital with the highest concentration of viruses. Suixin complies and then guides him to the laboratory, where most viruses are stored and tested. Chen collects some viruses, assuring her it should suffice. He combines them in a beaker, surprising and alarming Suixin. The concoction includes hepatitis, influenza, herpes, and HIV viruses, each contributing varying virus points based on potency. After absorbing all the viruses, Chen's next goal is to strengthen the zombie virus with them. He reviews his options on the point screen: Ancestor virus, Decay virus, T-virus, Coxy virus, and Dark Light virus. After careful consideration, he selects the Dark Light virus for upgrading, explaining its focus on devouring and evolving. Suddenly, Suixin alerts him to approaching zombies at the laboratory door. Chen instructs her to stay put and confronts the zombie, swiftly absorbing its virus. Observing Chen's actions, Suixin becomes perplexed. As he absorbs the virus, Chen notices the process is quicker than before, effortlessly lifting the 150 ulbs zombie. Seizing the opportunity, he tests his new ability on the zombie. With determination, he unleashes the Dark Light virus ability, witnessing black waves resembling branches devouring the zombie entirely within seconds, assimilating it into himself. Chen feels invigorated, noting the rapid absorption speed and even experiencing some stamina recovery. Meanwhile, Suixin trembles in fear at the sight of him. Nervously, she asks him what he has just done. Chen smiles casually and inquires what is troubling her. Suixin sighs with relief and expresses gratitude, acknowledging his role in saving her. Trusting him not to harm her, she offers her help in keeping his secrets. Chen extends his hand to assist her in standing up and introduces himself as Chen Bai. Suixin reciprocates the introduction. Suddenly, Chen hears sounds indicating the arrival of military personnel. Realizing this, he shares with Suixin that it appears the military and police have reached the hospital. They must have sealed off the area and are clearing out the zombies. He suggests they leave as well. Holding her hand, he leads her to the rooftop, explaining they can't risk being isolated and questioned. Suddenly, a strange creature materializes before them, startling Chen. As it attacks, Chen realizes it's not the right time for a confrontation. Stunned, Suixin hesitates, unsure of what to do, while the creature stands poised for a confrontation. In an instant, it attacks Chen and blood begins to pour from his hand. Nevertheless, Chen continues to smile, intrigued by the sight of the mutant before him, pondering what sort of evolution the Dark Light virus would undergo by assimilating the mutant. As the mutant advances to attack Chen, he leaps to dodge the strike and counters with a swift kick aimed at its head. However, the mutant proves to be highly agile. Before Chen can regain his footing, it lashes out with a slashing attack towards him. Miraculously, Chen manages to evade the attack, drawing his weapon imbued with the power of the zombies. He realizes the mutant matches his prowess. Nevertheless, he unleashes a powerful punch at the mutant, giving it his all. However, the punch only inflicts minor damage on the mutant. Realizing the mutants are on par with his own abilities, Chen launches another attack without hesitation. However, he quickly discerns that his attacks won't inflict significant damage on the mutant, realizing defeating it will require considerable effort. As the mutant rises from the damage, Chen takes a moment to heal himself. To his surprise, Suixin breaks the emergency box glass with her elbow, retrieving an axe and tossing it towards him as the mutant advances. Chen deftly catches the axe, grateful for her intervention as he prepares to face the mutant. Initiating his assault, he declares it's their brawl now, wielding the axe with precision. Dodging the mutant's attacks, he delivers a series of blows, eventually causing it to halt and clutch its wounded leg. In a moment of respite, Chen relaxes and remarks with a smile that it's surprising the mutant still holds on in such circumstances. He then positions his leg on the mutant's head, preparing to deliver the decisive blow by severing its head. Suddenly, the mutant retaliates with full force, launching a powerful counterattack against Chen, who collides with the wall, blood expelling from his mouth, the axe slipping from his grasp. Witnessing this, Suixin grows frightened and tense, her concern mounting for Chen. However, Chen remains unfazed, wearing a smile even in the face of adversity. He contemplates that when one is on the brink of death, there is no choice but to embrace it. Addressing the mutant, Chen questions if it desires to tear him apart. Confusion flickers in the mutant's eyes as dark waves emerge from Chen's stomach, ensnaring the mutant. Chen unleashes his evolution-devouring power, causing the mutant to howl in agony. Observing its suffering, Chen remarks on its newfound fear, though it's too late. Gradually, Chen consumes the mutant entirely, leaving nothing behind. Shocked yet impressed, Suixin praises Chen Bai for his remarkable feat. As the devouring process concludes, it becomes evident that Chen has absorbed a second-stage clawed zombie. The transformation of the blacklight virus continues, and upon completion, Chen acquires the bone claw ability characteristic of the clawed zombie. To his surprise, Chen's hands now resemble deadly claws, filling him with happiness as he realizes choosing the blacklight virus was the best decision he ever made. Shortly after, the military arrives, demanding confirmation of Chen and Suixin's survival. Chen's frustration is evident, but he swiftly gathers Suixin into his arms, urging her to hold on tightly. Ignoring the military's warnings, he dashes into action as gunfire erupts. Suixin directs him towards a safe passage leading to the rooftop. Despite being struck by bullets, Chen remains focused, silently enduring as they push forward. Finally, they reach the rooftop, where Chen kicks open the door with a powerful blow. Catching his breath, Chen turns to Suixin and asks about her home. Suixin quickly provides her address: Rongfeng Neighborhood, North 4th Road, Nanbei Street. Chen nods in acknowledgement, then swiftly sprints and leaps off the rooftop. Suixin, stunned and fearful, instinctively wraps her arms around Chen Bai as they plummet. Minutes later, they arrive at Suixin's house. Upon entering her room, Suixin points out the bathroom and offers to assist Chen in cleaning his wounds. Chen reassures her, explaining that the bullets had not lodged inside and his injuries had already healed. He encourages her not to worry, indicating that he is fine. Suixin insists, her concern overriding any sense of embarrassment. Chen acquiesces with a nod and removes his shirt as she requests. As she examines his wounds, Suixin feels a bit flustered. She points out the remaining marks and traces of wounds on his hand, urging him to take a closer look. Glancing at his chest and stomach, Suixin suggests Chen inspect those areas as well, claiming they haven't healed properly. In truth, she finds herself drawn to him, particularly mesmerized by his defined six-pack physique. In a lighthearted tone, Chen teases Suixin, jokingly asking if he would immediately recover if he ate her and playfully questioning if she's willing to sacrifice herself for him. Feeling flustered by his banter, Suixin awkwardly responds that he wouldn't eat her, suggesting he would have done so already if he intended to. To her surprise, Chen draws close and whispers in her ear, revealing that her assumption was incorrect. He confesses that he hadn't eaten her earlier because the circumstances hadn't been suitable. Taken aback by his revelation, Suixin finds herself speechless. Suddenly, Chen removes the torn cloth from her body, indicating that now the environment is conducive to his earlier suggestion. He once more asks if Suixin would be willing to sacrifice herself to help him recover. Though Suixin doesn't explicitly say yes, she diverts the topic, suggesting they clean up instead. Interpreting her response as an indirect yes, Chen understands her reluctance due to embarrassment. With a nod of acknowledgement, he leans in and initiates a kiss, leading them to become intimate with each other. However, amidst their intimacy, Chen's phone begins to ring incessantly, bombarded with message notifications. Ken's friends Zhao and Songji message him, expressing concern for his well-being. Song asks if he's alright, having heard from another friend that he visited Jiangxing Hospital. Meanwhile, Zhao shares that the school's #1 beauty Songji had been asking about him, sparking curiosity about his whereabouts. Later, Chen wanders through the market, reflecting on the strange occurrences in Jiangxing before the trial. The sealed hospital, suburban bombing, and monstrous slaughter. He admits his limited knowledge of these events and wonders why they're rarely discussed. Pondering these mysteries, he develops a headache and becomes tense. Chen then receives a call from Suixin, who informs him that 2 people came looking for him, claiming Song Zijiang wants to see him. Chen acts nonchalant and Suixin expresses distrust, considering Zijiang's status as the queen of Jiangxing. Tense, she asks what to do. Chen assures her they're not lying and asks her to have them wait outside, to which Suixin agrees. Chen opens the chat with Songji, finding numerous messages inquiring about his health and whereabouts. He recalls that Zijiang is the mother of a classmate entangled with him, speculating that Songji went to see her mother, and if Zijiang could find her way to Suixin's place, she must know something. Chen decides it's necessary to meet Zijiang. Later, he arrives at the suburban freezer warehouse, where Zijiang's guards escort him to her. Reflecting on Zijiang's journey from rags to riches, becoming the wealthiest person in Jiangxing and excelling in both legitimate and illegitimate ventures, Chen recalls her rise to power as the Jiangxing queen. In his past life, he admired her, but now he laughs knowing things are different. If he can recruit her to his side, he could accomplish much more before the trial. They halt at the suburban warehouse corridor where Zikyung stands with her secretary, Ms. Lang. When Chen arrives, her bodyguard informs her of his presence. Zixiong apologizes for summoning him, explaining her inability to leave. Chen inquires about the specific matter she wishes to discuss. Surprisingly, Zixiong steps closer to him and adjusts his attire, explaining that she called him because Songji had returned home, expressing concern about his absence at Jiangcheng First Hospital and asking for help. She also admits curiosity about the man who could make Songji so nervous. Chen, preferring directness, asks Zixiong about her real purpose. She smiles, appreciating his straightforwardness, and suggests he become her daughter's husband, citing his apparent fondness for her. Ken replies that he doesn't believe there's a reason for Zixiong to want him. Zixiong mentions his heroic performance at the hospital and asks if anyone would develop feelings. Stunned, Chen admits to destroying the hospital's surveillance and power supply, questioning how she knew and found him so quickly. Zixiong urges him not to underestimate her, explaining her men could trace him at least from the lobby to the monitoring room. She asserts she has someone inside the hospital and shows Chen her chat with a girl named Lulei, who sent a video of him running away with Sui Xin. Zixiong mentions finding a colleague of Sui Xin named Liu Feng among the survivors brought up by the troops, who seemed familiar to her. Surprised at the mention of Liu's name, Chen is taken aback. Chen recalls the night before at Sui Xin's house when she mentioned Liu Feng. He asks if Liu was the one who not only tried to molest her, but also pushed her towards the zombies. Sui Xin confirms, recounting Liu's attempt to escape by jumping out of the window but getting grabbed by zombies, ultimately meeting his demise. Chen is surprised, realizing Liu Feng was the person hanging on the window, thinking he was already dead. Sui Xin expresses her hatred towards Liu Feng, wishing he were already dead. Back at the suburban freezer warehouse corridor, Chen asks Zixiong if she will disclose the location of the isolated survivors. Zixiong responds, offering the information if he becomes her man. Chen asserts that she underestimates him. Zixiong admits she can't match his skills with just information, but still has leverage. Chen interjects, rejecting her proposal and implying she knows too little about him. He suggests that if she knew more, she would realize he couldn't be her man, but rather she should be his woman. With these words, he draws out his claws, surprising Zixiong and prompting her secretary, Ms. Lang, to step forward protectively. Zixiong questions if this is a mutation of the zombie virus, but Chen denies it, proposing that she becomes his woman in exchange for learning more. Zixiong smiles, indicating that merely showing his claws won't win her over. She mentions his relationship with Sui Xin, questioning why he's interested in her. Chen approaches Zixiong closely, holding her face and suggesting that everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. He hints that there's much more she could do for him than Sui Xin in these days before the apocalypse. Hearing Chen's mention of the apocalypse, Zixiong curiously inquires further. Chen counters, stating that zombies aren't even worthy of being called a warm-up. This prompts Zixiong to realize that Chen possesses substantial knowledge. Chen confirms her suspicion, asserting that his knowledge surpasses her imagination. Recognizing their shared disposition against submission, Zixiong proposes cooperation, offering her help in exchange for his information. The Jigachad responds affirmatively, recognizing that conquering the Queen of Jiangcheng is indeed not an easy task. Zixiong agrees, revealing her anticipation of encountering a man capable of conquering her. She encourages Chen to persist in his efforts, genuinely impressed by his boldness. Suddenly, they hear gunshots from outside. Chen's expression shifts to alarm as he questions what's happening. Tensely, Zixiong reveals that Commander Huang dispatched Captain Zhao to negotiate with her the previous night. They sought the use of refrigerated warehouses to store live zombies and survivors from isolated capitals, likely the source of the gunfire. However, she questions how things went awry given the few zombies in the cold storage barely mobile. Chen ponders the swift discovery of the zombies, unexpected due to their sluggishness and low temperatures. Unaware of the increased mutation risk in extreme conditions, he refocuses on the present. They're in a suburban cold storage where mutated zombies lurk. It dawns on him that this site could be the suburban bombing location. Determined, he suggests further investigation, excited about the mutation's nature. Meanwhile, commandos hurl grenades into the meat monster's mouth, causing explosions. Fog fills the area as they await the outcome, surprised to see the monster emerge unharmed. Captain Zhao issues an order, realizing their weapons are futile against the creature. Everyone forms groups and spreads out to lure the monster separately, instructed to hold out until reinforcements arrive. To Zhao's surprise, Zixiong arrives urgently, requesting the commandos to cease fire and retreat. Tensely, he questions her intentions. Zixiong explains their weapons can't harm the creature, urging Zhao not to send the commandos to their deaths. She instructs him to protect and evacuate the cold storage employees and survivors. Zhao argues it's impossible to escape without restraining the monster. Meanwhile, Lu Lei faces imminent attack. Zixiang insists Zhao follow her instructions and not worry about the monster. Chen intervenes, shielding Lu Lei and grappling with the monster, revealing its overwhelming size. The meat monster lunges at Chen, but he dodges swiftly and counterattacks with his claws, striking its arm. They face off again as the monster attempts to hit Chen, but he evades, causing it to hit the walls instead. Witnessing this, Zhao questions Zixiang tensely, asking if she's raising a monster. Zixiang laughs, revealing Chen as her partner. Meanwhile, due to the broken wall, beef carcasses spill out and Chen climbs on top. He pleads with the monster not to eat the beef, skillfully devouring himself. As he consumes the beef, he gains strength and endurance, remarking on its premium quality. Chen notices the tired monster trying to replenish its energy. Seizing the opportunity, he attacks, knowing it's its turn to perish. Despite seeing Chen's impending attack, the tired monster is unable to react and gets struck by his blows. Zhao and Zixiang watch in astonishment as Chen relentlessly attacks the monster with his claws, rendering it powerless. With the monster unable to retaliate, Chen activates his devouring skill, ensnaring it with black wave branches. Witnessing this, Zhao is shocked, voicing disbelief at Chen's abilities. Meanwhile, Chen continues to devour the monster slowly. Zhao attempts to request a missile launch, but Zixiang intervenes, urging him to remain calm. She reminds him of Chen's assistance and warns against rash decisions, emphasizing the potential consequences. 10 minutes later, every commando aims at Chen, shields raised. Captain Zhao orders everyone to stay alert with loaded bullets. Zixiang reminds Zhao of his earlier restraint, which he reaffirms. Meanwhile, Chen increases his power, unlocking his new talent, Virus King, and gaining 500 virus points. Devouring a rare mutant enhances his abilities, including a new one named Heavy Hammer. Pleased with his evolution, Chen feels powerful, but regrets the lack of challenge. He reveals his biggest gain of the day, a Flesh Mountain core. The core holds potential for crafting equipment and creating a flesh wall if controlled properly. Chen ponders whether to feed it more to grow another Flesh Mountain. His thoughts are interrupted when Zixiang calls him, prompting him to conceal the core. Zixiang introduces Chen to Lu Lei, a well-known journalist and internet celebrity. Chen asks if she secretly filmed him in the hospital, which she confirms with gratitude for his rescue. Chen modestly dismisses it, then asks if she captured his battle with the Meat Mountain mutant on camera. Upon hearing this, Lu Lei becomes a bit tense and apologizes, explaining that it's a professional habit of hers. Chen reassures her it's fine and instructs her to keep the footage, stating he has a use for it. Zhao then approaches Chen, relaying the district military commander Huang's request for Chen to explain himself and what he knows to the military. Chen remains silent, his thoughts drifting to Commander Huang Xingshu, a name difficult to forget. He recalls Huang's coercion of the weak and isolated awakened individuals after the trials, exploiting them like commodities. Initially, patriotism and righteousness reassured everyone, but it devolved into beatings and insults. Chen reflects on his own struggles and starvation, remembering how attempting to leave meant being branded a traitor and hunted down, forcing him to flee Jiangcheng. Addressing Zixiang as boss Zixiang, Chen asks if he should go and explain. Zixiang responds with a firm no, explaining she lacks sufficient information. Chen attempts to discuss the potential consequences, but Zixiang reassures him, insisting she'll handle it. Zhao interjects, emphasizing the duty of citizenship in Longo for both of them to understand. Zixiang steps closer to Zhao, expressing her anger and dismissing the concept of duty as a mere joke. She urges Zhao to drop his official tone, reminding him of his position as just a platoon leader, lacking the qualifications for such matters. Zixiang instructs Zhao to inform Huang Xingshu that any issues should be addressed to her first. Before Zhao can respond, one of his soldiers approaches, seeking guidance on handling the isolated personnel causing trouble. Ken eagerly inquires if a person named Liu Feng is among the troublemakers. Zhao also asks if it is true. The soldier confirms, stating that Liu is indeed causing the most trouble. Chen then asks Zhao that he wants to see Liu Feng. Zhao agrees to Chen's request and instructs his soldier to bring Liu Feng to them. After some time, Liu arrives, inquiring if Zhao is searching for him and if his dad, Liu Huinam, has called. He mentions his father's role as the vice president of the first hospital. Surprising Liu, Chen places his hand on his shoulder, covertly injecting him with the zombie virus. Claiming to seek Liu on behalf of someone with a message, Chen fabricates a story about Suixin's alleged desire for Liu's demise due to his actions with the zombie. Confused, Liu asks who Chen is. Chen concocts a tale about Suixin's supposed confession during a moment of intimacy. Shocked, Liu questions Chen's source, deeming it impossible for Suixin to be alive. Suddenly, Chen retreats, urging everyone back as Liu begins to show signs of transformation. Liu becomes furious, denying the accusation and demanding answers. Others react defensively, soldiers readying their guns. As Liu charges toward Chen, unaware of his own transformation, Chen delivers a powerful punch, sending him flying. Witnessing this, Zhao is astonished, questioning Chen's mutant ability and humanity. Impressed by the punch's effectiveness, Chen addresses Zixiang as Boss Zixiang, acknowledging her performance and promising to share information with her later. Zixiang invites Chen to call her by her name or initials, hinting at a deeper connection. Surprised, Chen questions her motives. Zixiang subtly expresses her interest in a deeper relationship, indirectly probing Chen's feelings. Understanding her intentions, the Jigachad responds, emphasizing that her value and performance will determine their future. Later, as they drive back, Zixiang invites Chen for dinner. Politely, Chen asks her not to disturb him until they arrive, to which Zixiang agrees with an okay. Chen begins pondering if it's time for the lucky draw, checking his inventory for potential rewards from defeating the Meat Mountain monster. To his surprise, he finds 2 skill books. The first is Rampage Bloodlust, boosting all attributes for 10 minutes with a 1-day cooldown, but decreasing all attributes by 50% during cooldown. Chen deems it useless and shifts focus to the second book, Muscle Enhancement. It significantly increases muscle mass and strength growth rate, but users risk losing flexibility and becoming muscle freaks. Chen acknowledges the value of both books for faction building or rallying people in the early stages of the trial, although they're not personally useful to him. Contemplating faction building, Chen assesses his rewards: 6 gold coins from defeating the meat monster, totaling 6 gold coins, 35 silver coins, and 6 copper coins. Knowing that creating a chat group requires gold coins, he decides to utilize them to gather pioneers for establishing a solid foundation before the trial. Chen emphasizes the importance of early-stage relationships in shaping later-stage factions based on his past experiences. Opting to create a group, he cancels naming it, resulting in the system automatically naming it Group 01 by default. After creating the group, Chen laughs and calls out Heloise's name, expressing his ambition to build the Divine Emperor city and establish a divine kingdom where she would be beneath him. 3 hours later, they arrive at Zixiang's private villa, where Chen has already shared some future information with her. Zixiang repeats his words regarding the cosmic trial, noting the uselessness of firearms and electronic devices, as over 90% of participants will undergo gifted evolution and become monsters. Chen acknowledges her understanding and inquires if she can leverage this knowledge for an advantage. Zixiang firmly responds with a no, stating it's not enough. Cutting to the chase, Zixiang asks Chen how she could become his ally. Chen emphasizes the need for ability and absolute loyalty, likening it to a loyal dog to its master. Zixiang confidently asserts her influence, wealth, and status in Jiangcheng. Chen counters, explaining how post-trial dynamics will render her current power meaningless, urging her to envision a future where everyone vies for the former queen and princess of Jiangcheng. Hearing Chen's response, Zixiang becomes tense, questioning the distinction between loyalty to him and being treated as a plaything elsewhere. Chen reassures her, promising a platform to showcase her abilities under his guidance without restriction. Touched by his words, Zixiang smiles and admits hesitation may lead to missed opportunities. Without delay, she approaches Chen, gracefully bending her knee, expressing her readiness to serve him and proclaiming him as her master. Thrilled by her commitment, Chen acknowledges the emotional value she brings due to her reputation and status. He gently touches her face, requesting to witness her charm firsthand and assigning tasks for her to handle. Later, in Chat Group 01, Zixiang messages Ms. Leng, asking if Luli has sent Chen's video. If yes, she instructs Leng to take Luli home for rest, considering her recent experiences. Additionally, Leng is tasked with ensuring Chen's posts are prominently displayed on major forums, sharing the title of his posts to the pioneers with the post ID Pioneer White Emperor. Surprised, Leng relays Zixiang's instructions to Luli, urging her to send Chen's video and accompany her home for rest. Luli expresses surprise at the instruction and questions if she should return home. In response, Leng explains Zixiang's concern for Luli's well-being and the need for rest. Accepting the directive, Luli responds with an okay, reflecting on her recent encounter with zombies and Chen's strength. She wonders if she's become more accepting of the possibility of danger or if Chen's presence has reassured her. Back at Zixiang's villa, her phone rings and it's her daughter Songji calling. Chen notices and answers instead of Zixiang. Without delay, Songji questions the urgency of her request to come home, relayed by Ms. Leng, and asks if something is amiss. Chen reveals that he's the one who answered, surprising Songji. She questions why he has her mom's phone and where her mom is. Chen explains Ziqiang's busy schedule and insists on an important discussion at home. Songji reluctantly agrees and instructs Chen to wait for her, expressing frustration at his previous lack of response. Before she can finish, Chen hangs up, infuriating her. She vows to assert her authority over him sooner or later. While sitting at his feet, Ziqiang asks if Chen would protect her daughter as well. Chen replies that Songji lacks ability and character due to indulgence. However, with more effort from Ziqiang, he can ensure Songji won't become a monster during the trial. Ziqiang expresses gratitude for his assurance. Later, Ziqiang and Songji travel in a car to the suburban secret warehouse. Overhearing her mother's conversation about Chen, Songji questions Ziqiang's trust in him, finding it absurd. Ziqiang explains she stopped Songji from seeking Chen due to her doubts and warns her to remain obedient and silent after they exit the car. Songji agrees compliantly. Meanwhile, at the suburban secret warehouse, Ms. Lang reports to Chen that she scouted all rumored locations of zombies and monsters in the city the previous day, finding only this warehouse. She explains it used to be an underground casino, now occupied by about 160 zombies who were former gamblers, without any special zombies like the Meat Mountain. Chen acknowledges this and considers the idea of a zombie slaughterhouse. However, he dismisses it due to the difficulty of eliminating the Meat Mountain in indoor hospital settings and the remote location of the secret warehouse, making it hard for news to spread if something happened. Ken confirms with Ms. Lang that she visited all the places rumored to have zombies but only found them at the secret warehouse. Ms. Lang responds affirmatively. By this time, Ziqiang and Songji have also arrived. Chen begins to speculate that someone is collecting zombies and that the location where these zombies are being kept could be a zombie slaughterhouse. He notes that the military only dares to contain a few dozen zombies at most, but this person aims to gather all the zombies and monsters. Finding this prospect very exciting, Chen openly questions whether the anonymous individual is a curious adventurer or a pioneer with insider information. Chen directs the workers to open the warehouse door, unleashing a swarm of zombies. He swiftly defeats them, impressing Songji and capturing Suixin's recording. After dispatching the zombies, Chen absorbs the virus from them, earning the title of Zombie Hunter and enhancing his attributes. He unlocks the serum formula in the talent tree, recognizing its vital importance in combating the zombie threat. Gathering everyone, Chen reminds Ziqiang of their pre-trip conversation about zombie combat strategies. Ziqiang confirms while Songji watches in disgust as the zombies are eliminated. Ziqiang explains the necessity of using cold weapons to minimize the risk of mutation during the trial and ensures everyone's safety. Chen holds up a zombie, inviting everyone to showcase their talents. Ms. Lang volunteers first, surprising everyone by swiftly dispatching the zombie with a brutal body slam and neck snap. Impressed, Chen commends her speed and precision. Ziqiang steps up next, attacking a zombie with a baseball bat. While she knocks it down easily, Chen notices she lacks the strength to finish it quickly, requiring multiple hits. Suixin follows, using her knowledge of anatomy to overcome a zombie despite her lacking strength. Chen acknowledges her effort. Handing the bat to Songji, Ziqiang encourages her to face the next zombie. However, Songji panics, unable to fight, and ultimately fails the challenge by wetting herself without even trying. Chen remarks on her failure. Chen beckons Ziqiang for a discussion, expressing suspicion about Ms. Lang's findings regarding the rumored zombie locations. He tasks Ziqiang with a thorough investigation. Ziqiang agrees and inquires about Songji. Chen, disappointed, stresses the importance of everyone's progress, especially Songji's. He emphasizes the need for efficient training, prompting Ziqiang to arrange practice for her. Tense with anticipation, Ziqiang mentions Chen's unresolved virus issue. Chen hands her a paper containing the serum formula, surprising her. Upon reading it, Ziqiang comments on its complexity. Chen explains its significance and the option to generate the formula with the provided materials. Ziqiang expresses gratitude for Chen's trust and vows to safeguard the formula while completing the task diligently. Chen acknowledges, instructing Ziqiang to proceed with her work and arrange for someone to send him back. Ziqiang confirms and suggests Ms. Lang as the messenger. Alone again, Chen checks his mobile, feeling tense at the mocking responses to his post. Amidst the negativity, a private message from someone named Shil catches his eye. Shil reveals himself as a fellow pioneer and inquires about Chen's knowledge. Realizing the potential for valuable connections, Chen asks about Shil's talent. Shil responds with an S-level mental control ability. Chen shares information about the communication features unlocked by the pioneer, directing Shil to chat group 001 for basic information. He invites Shil to reach out with any further questions after reviewing the materials. Shil joins the group using his real name, Han Xiao. He then messaged Chen, asking if he can invite someone. Chen inquires about the person Xiao wants to invite. Xiao responds that it is someone named Shuchuan. Hearing this name, Chen is stunned, recognizing it as that of the emperor-level powerhouse known as Su Qun. Excited at the prospect of such a powerful individual joining the group, Chen tells Xiao that he can invite any other pioneers he comes across. After this exchange, Chen has a hearty laugh. Eventually, Shuchuan joins the chat group. On the same day at 7:30 p.m., Luli is on a call with Zixiang. Zixiang asks if there are any results from the investigation into the collection of zombies. Luli confirms progress, attributing the actions to the forces of the Jiangxing Lord, who are funneling the zombies to the Manga container yard near the Jiangxing Wharf. She mentions dispatching someone for further intel, but they haven't returned, prompting her to proceed with the meeting. Suddenly, 2 injured men collapse before her, startling her. A man appears at the window, laughing ominously. Fearing discovery, Luli informs Zixiang tensely that she's been found out. Meanwhile, at Zixiang's mansion, Chen converses with Huai Liu, who seeks clarification on his talent's instructions. Chen agrees to help and requests the details. Huai Liu sends the term yin wood, prompting Chen to search for it on his panel. The search reveals that yin wood is the most yin of woods with an endless source of life. With yin's soul entering the body, it becomes the land of eternal life. Activating the wood body costs 1 spirit, while activating yin's soul costs 1 constitution. Chen notes that yin wood is an SS-level talent and informs Huai Liu that the cost of activating the ability is quite high. If his spirit is more than 3, it would cost a spirit to activate the wood body. Huai Liu thanks Chen for providing this information, mentioning that he has 5 spirits. Zixiang rushes to Chen urgently, prompting his concern. She explains that Luli discovered the zombies' destination at the Mankai container yard but was caught. The opposing party seeks negotiations. Surprised, Chen questions whether Luli was contacted or if she betrayed them. Zixiang denies the latter, asserting her trust in Luli's loyalty given their close relationship. She attributes the issue to the investigating team's actions. Determined to rescue Luli, Chen vows to intervene. Zixiang expresses gratitude for his commitment. Meanwhile, at the Mankai container yard, Luli is tied up by Xingmeng, a pioneer. He presents her with an ultimatum: submit to Zixiang or become his plaything. Luli struggles against her restraints as Xing approaches with a drink, warning her not to resist. Suddenly, Chen's voice cuts through, declaring that there is no grace in forcing someone to drink if the girl doesn't like it. Chen, calmly eating at Xing's table, surprises Xing, who wonders how Chen managed to sit there without his knowledge. Chen stands up and asks Luli if she's hungry, mentioning that the steak isn't bad. Furious at Chen's nonchalant demeanor, Xing feels mocked. Chen then feeds Luli, who is embarrassed, and tells Xing that he's there to take Luli back. Xing asks if Zixiang sent him, but quickly realizes that if Chen could get this close without being noticed, he must be a pioneer too. While Xing processes this, Chen unties Luli and asks her to go outside, mentioning that Zixiang is waiting for her in the car. Luli responds with an okay and leaves. As Luli leaves, Xing comments that it seems Zixiang is already under Chen's control. Chen agrees, and Xing remarks that it's interesting, suggesting that the Queen of Jiangxing wouldn't surrender so easily, implying Chen must have intriguing methods. Xing suggests an exchange of ideas, noting their influence over Jiangxing's major forces. He has subdued the Lord, Chen the Queen, leaving only the commander. Xing proposes an alliance to make himself king, offering Chen a significant role. Despite the toast, Chen surprises Xing by declining the offer. Infuriated, Xing throws his glass and boasts of his S-level talent, challenging Chen to drink the punishment wine. Chen counters by revealing his investigation into Xing's activities, including the creation of zombies from living people. He deems Xing's power harmful and useless, asserting his SSS-level talent renders him unworthy of assistance. Xing laughs and draws his weapon, revealing his talent called Slaughter Progression. He explains that this talent allows him to permanently transfer parts of the attributes from his kill targets to himself, enabling indefinite growth. Xing boasts that this invincible top-level ability is still just a single level. He then challenges Chen, asking if Chen, with his supposed SSS-level ability, is afraid he will instantly become a god. The Jiga Chad responds calmly, saying he's close enough but can handle it. He muses that Xing's ability and unlimited growth pure combat skill resembles equipment in its nature. Enraged by Chen's nonchalance, Xing charges at him, shouting that he hopes to increase his attributes by killing Chen. Xing commands Chen not to disappoint him. Just as Xing lunges at him, Chen dodges the attack and activates his special hammer ability. Seeing Chen dodge, Xing realizes that Chen has a shape-shifting talent, finding it interesting but still underestimating his strength. Chen, however, remains cautious, recognizing that Xing hasn't fully explained his abilities, so he's unsure of their full effects. Xing attacks again with his claws, and Chen counters with his hammer hand. Their punches collide, creating a massive impact in their surroundings. The force of their clash reverberates through the warehouse, shaking the walls and sending debris flying. After that punch, Xing is momentarily pushed back but quickly recovers and attacks again. Chen counters with his hammer hand, but this time Xing stops the attack by grabbing Chen's hand. Xing taunts Chen, questioning his strength and demanding that he reveal his supposed SS talent. The Jigachad responds calmly, saying he's been using his skills all along and that Xing simply hasn't recognized them. Enraged, Xing dismisses Chen's words as nonsense and unleashes a full-power attack. Chen, feeling the pressure, braces himself but is sent flying into the wall by Xing's punch. Xing stands over him, declaring that Chen's strength, physique, and agility are all inferior to his own power. He accuses Chen of pretending to be strong and insists that Chen's tricks are meaningless in the face of his absolute power. Suddenly, Xing coughs up blood, clearly shocked and confused by what's happening. His status screen displays two notifications. The influenza virus and encephalitis B virus have exceeded his immunity limit, reducing his physical strength by 3, his agility by 5, and his overall strength by 2. Additionally, Xing receives a negative buff, causing fear of light and water, as well as slowed thinking and movements. Struggling to understand what's happening, Xing hears Chen remark that his physique is indeed impressive, as it took a considerable amount of time for the viruses to take effect. Chen then asks Xing how it feels to have so many illnesses. Furious, Xing shouts that Chen is a sneaky bastard and goes to attack him. However, Xing's weakened state allows Chen to easily defeat him with a hammer hand. Chen retorts that he isn't sneaky, as he had already warned Xing about his various attack methods, expressing pity that Xing didn't believe him. He then devours Xing's entire body. A system alert appears, indicating a whole evolved human has been absorbed, completing the Black Light virus's initial awakening, significantly increasing Chen's attributes. Additionally, a notification shows him that his Black Light devouring ability has evolved, allowing him to view part of his target's memories with a low probability of obtaining their mastered skills. Seeing this, Chen feels happy as the attribute bonuses provided by the Blacklight virus have changed from active use to permanent attribute bonuses, a huge benefit for him. He checks how many attributes have been added and finds that it's 20% more strength, 20% more spirit, and 100% more regeneration, on top of the previous bonuses of 30% more strength. Picking up Xing's claw, Chen realizes that they can no longer play around with ordinary people, as those with basic attributes below 5 are too fragile for him now. He then examines the description of Xing's zombie claw, noticing equipment blueprints and consumables. Chen concludes that Xing must have been lucky to have obtained such items, possibly by defeating mutant zombies. Reflecting on Xing's fortune, Chen realizes it's a second-level production blueprint indicating Xing's high luck attribute. However, now all these possessions belong to him. As night falls, Chen exits the container yard, pondering how his talent has progressed from E to SS. The rumors of 3 strange events has been very rewarding. At the same time, he has also taken over Zixiang, the future lord of Jiangqing. Just then, Zixiang opens the car door, prompting Chen to get in. Considering his current strength, Chen decides it's not worthwhile to seek out randomly appearing monsters before the trial. Instead, he resolves to organize and prepare for the trial's advent in the coming days. Later, at Zixiang's residence on the eve of the trial, Chen eagerly awaits the impending start near the glass window. A knock prompts him to invite Zixiang, Leng, and Suixin inside. Zixiang updates Chen on completing his tasks on time, while Leng confirms terrain and population information for the Peak Villa area. Suixin adds that material purchases are finalized. Chen acknowledges their efforts and instructs them to lay out all information. Messaging his group, Chen reminds them of the impending trials, emphasizing the need for vigilance despite their advantages. As the countdown begins, members express gratitude and thoughts with each passing minute. With 10 seconds remaining, Chen asks Zixiang and the others to come and witness the impending change in the outside atmosphere, as the peaceful scene will soon become history. As each second passes, the tension mounts. At 5 seconds, Sonji expresses her fear to Leng, who reassures her. Suddenly, as the countdown ends, the moon turns a fiery red, signaling the beginning of the trials. The Blue Star Doomsday trial officially commences, with people transforming into zombies while survivors undergo evolution. Evolved humans gain innate abilities and can level up by gaining experience. Chen explains that other races from the universe will also participate in this life and death race. The Blue Planet becomes a proving ground with countless secret realms and world rifts, offering both danger and opportunity. Everyone must strive to grow and evolve. Suddenly, Chen notices his locket shining and receives a notice that the hourglass of time has been recognized and bound. Confused, he wonders what has been recognized, then recalls everyone else in the room and grows tense, not wanting anyone to know about the hourglass. Tensely, he turns around to instruct everyone to leave the room, only to be shocked when he finds them frozen in black and white. Everything around him appears monochrome, even the crashed airplane suspended in midair. Wondering if time has truly halted, he watches as his hourglass absorbs energy from the surroundings. A voice announces the successful binding of the time hourglass. Checking the screen, he discovers a skill called Going Back in Time, allowing him to return to any point in the past and erase all gain from the vanished timeline, with a cooldown of 72 years, 6 months, and 7 days. It is also given that this skill couldn't be modified by any skill or equipment to reduce its cooldown. Reflecting on it, he realizes that if he looks back, it seems that he was able to be reborn because of the hourglass. He also notices a column for status save and read. Status save allows him to mark the current physical and mental status and skill status without any cooldown, while status read enables him to read saved status without affecting memories or items held. He wonders how he acquired such a powerful life-saving skill with just a 1-hour cooldown. The environment then returns to normal, and Zixiang asks if he had any orders for them or if she just misheard. Chen confirms she heard him correctly and instructs her to confirm the safety of their villa as soon as possible, as the night poses significant danger. He directs her to put everyone on alert and begin clearing the villa area at daybreak. Zixiang and Lang affirm with a yes. The following day, zombies launch an attack at the villa. Zixiang swiftly counters, showcasing her mastery of the newly acquired Amethyst Eyes skill. This ability transforms objects into amethyst or employs them for offense or defense, its potency escalating with mental strength. Additionally, she's acquired the Insight Crystal skill, enabling her to discern the attributes of targets. Its effectiveness varies with mental strength. Zixiang utilizes her Insight Crystal to evaluate the zombie's attributes before launching her attack. Meanwhile, Lang has acquired the skills of an A-level assassin. With the assassin skill, one's breath becomes invisible and undetectable, while also enhancing strength and sensitivity. Lang effortlessly dispatches the zombies with a single strike. Next, Zixiang's guards attend to the wounded survivors, guiding them to the lobby. Suixin, feeling tense, instructs the guards to administer the zombie serum to the survivor for immediate treatment. Suixin herself now possesses the high-speed recovery skill, a level B ability that accelerates self-recovery from injuries and stamina, and can be actively applied to others. Later that night, Chen and Lang discuss the favorable progress. Lang confirms that everything is proceeding smoothly thanks to Chen's prior arrangements, with no unforeseen incidents thus far. Chen informs Lang that he's entrusting the remaining tasks to her, citing more pressing matters on his agenda. Although surprised, Lang acknowledges his decision with an okay. Chen then leaps into the sky, soaring with such speed that it creates a rush of air. Moments later, Chen races towards a destination through Jiangxing Mountain Road. Amidst his sprint, he reflects on the initial challenges posed by the Doomsday Trial, particularly the limitations on vehicles and firearms. However, with his current velocity, he anticipates reaching his destination on time. Recalling the mysterious sign he spotted on the first day of the Doomsday, he regrets not understanding its significance sooner but resolves to capitalize on opportunities this time around. Later at Jiangxing University, while Chen is absorbing viruses from zombies, a change occurs in the moon's signs. Chen interprets it as a signal that all evolvers eagerly anticipate, the descent of the avatar of the god onto Earth. Sensing the presence of the god nearby, Chen is interrupted by someone who identifies him as an evolver. This person, a merchant, expresses admiration for Chen's strength in the early stages of the trials and proposes a business deal. Delighted by the opportunity, Chen expresses his readiness to engage in business with him. However, the merchant humbly downplays the honor, saying that it is just a trade with him, so there is nothing to be honored about. Chen expresses that he's had the honor of hearing about him and eagerly anticipated their meeting after seeing his symbol. He then bows down in front of the merchant, addressing him with reverence as the kind, fair, generous, rich, and powerful god of trading, Lord Lido. Hearing this, Lord Lido appears in his true form and tells Chen that he is flattered by him and sees their meeting as destiny, so he decides to gift Chen a special reward as a meeting gift. Lido gives Chen a card explaining that it is a gold membership card to the Goblin Chamber of Commerce, which grants a 12% discount on every item purchased. Chen, seeing this, reflects on how in his last life he had been immune to compliments and praise, so it was good to be quick on the uptake. Chen takes the card with gratitude, acknowledging Lido's generosity and kindness, and Lido mentions that since Chen is willing to trade with him, he will show him the products. Chen observes the first item, the Thunder Walker Scroll, an S-grade item known for harnessing the power of thunder, boasting potent combat abilities. Priced at 500 gold coins, it's a formidable choice. The second item, Reaper's Touch, is equally impressive, an S-grade legendary sniper rifle exclusive to firearms professions. Chen is taken aback by these offerings and reflects that the Thunderwalker profession scroll is from his previous life, indicating it was purchased from there. He acknowledges Leto's vast collection of profession items, explaining that he wants all of them but apologizes for being unable to afford everything at the moment. Understandingly, Leto mentions that he knows evolvers wouldn't have much currency at the start of the trials. He reassures Chen that his products are of value and encourages him to work hard to achieve wealth. Anticipating future meetings, Leto turns to leave. Chen stops Leto and shares that he has heard the gods couldn't participate directly in the trial and need to invest in evolved beings to make a profit. Chen then asks Leto if he intends to invest. Leto gets impressed with Chen's insight and knowledge and asks if Chen wants his investments. The Giga Chad responds by mentioning that he has heard Leto possess a treasure highly regarded by the gods, suggesting Leto to invest that in him, promising he won't regret it. Leto responds by emphasizing that an investment must yield profits, something coveted by all gods. He questions Chen's ability to offer more than it's worth and expresses reluctance to engage in a potentially loss-inducing venture. Chen, demonstrating his evolved form with the hammer hand and claw, urges Leto to consider his capabilities. Impressed by Chen's SSS-level talent, Leto admits it's tempting but hesitates to invest heavily early on. To Chen's surprise, Leto agrees to give him a chance, advising him to cherish the opportunity. Leto mentions that if it weren't for the fact that Chen was gifted and didn't have the aura of other gods, he wouldn't have agreed. Chen inquires about receiving the precious investment immediately, but Leto declines, explaining that talent alone doesn't guarantee future success. He stresses the importance of proving worth through personal strength and growth. Suddenly, Chen receives a notice. The god of goblins and trading, Leto, has issued him an SS-ranked mission, the ultimate investment. Leto offers Chen a coin, which he can use to summon his shadow upon completing the task. Leto expresses his hope that Chen won't delay too long. Chen then requests Leto to show him the treasure that all the gods covet. Leto agrees and reveals the treasure, the dual profession scroll. This scroll allows the user to have two professions simultaneously, enabling dual attribute growth, attribute bonuses, and concurrent skills. Chen is stunned by this revelation, pondering if it's truly a dual profession. Leto confirms the transaction's conclusion and prepares to depart. Before leaving, he remarks that his day's harvest has been pleasant and expresses hope for Chen's task completion. After Leto's departure, Chen checks his mission panel to review the task details. The description states that to secure the most valuable investment from the god of trade, he must prove his worth by locating a special copy of the secret realm in Jiangxing University, defeating the creature inside, and obtaining a part of its body to present to Leto. Chen notices in the reward area that the reward will be decided by Leto. Impressed, Chen thinks that Leto truly embodies the essence of a god of trade. He reflects on Leto's good reputation from his previous life, surmising that he wouldn't suffer any loss if he didn't perform well. Chen then wonders about Jiangxing University, contemplating whether it had a secret realm in its early days. If true, it must have been well hidden as he had never heard of it before. He begins contemplating where to start looking first. Meanwhile, in the gymnasium of Jiangxing University, a young man is bullying students. Tom the bully demands that students plead to be his servants in a manner that pleases him, threatening harm if they refuse. The students defiantly reject his demands, calling him names. Tom becomes agitated and threatens to harm them, reassuring them that he won't let them die easily. Lin Qi, one of Tom's comrades, tries to intervene, but Tom hits her too, telling her to stay out of it. Suddenly, an explosion erupts in the wall, causing everyone to tense up. Emerging from the opening, Chen confronts Tom, asking if he had beaten those students. Tom proudly admits to it, asking if Chen didn't like it. When Tom looks up, he's stunned to see Chen coming towards him furiously. The Giga Chad punches Tom with a hammer hand, telling him to go to hell. Seeing Tom in trouble, his friend tries to help by fighting Chen, but the Giga Chad swiftly defeats him as well. While overpowering them, Chen asks if anyone among them is from the medical faculty, as he's looking for something and needs assistance from someone familiar with it. The students replied with a no, mentioning that one was a civil engineer and the others were foreign students. However, a girl named Jia points towards Lin Qi and recalls that Lin Kai is a medical student. Seeing this, Lin Qi gets tense and pleads with Chen not to harm her, insisting that she hasn't hurt anyone. Then Lin Qi starts saying strange things like how she likes the Dragon Nation and describes herself as having a passionate heart, which makes the other students laugh. Embarrassed, Lin Qi asks Chen to spare her, promising to do anything in return. Jia reiterates that Lin Qi hasn't done anything wrong and has even tried to stop the two guys. The Giga Chad responds that he understands. Outside, Chen instructs everyone, except for Lin Qi, to leave. He tells them to follow the trail of zombie corpses to the Jiangxing City East Mountain Villa area and report his name as Chen Bai. The people there will take care of them. Hearing this, they all become tense, expressing concern about the city being full of zombies and the distance to East Mountain Villa from the university. They fear they could die on the way there. Chen reassures them that he has cleared almost all the zombies along the way, so they don't have to worry much as they won't be in danger. He also mentions that since they are all survivors, they will be gifted evolvers too. Chen points out that if they are too scared to face the zombies now, what will they do when the zombies and monsters start growing in numbers? They will be as good as dead. Hearing this, they all are stunned for a moment. Jia thanks Chen as she understands what he is trying to say. Then, everyone leaves from there. Lin Qi asks Chen why she can't leave with the others and why he's keeping her there, but Chen doesn't respond. Feeling embarrassed, Lin Qi wonders if Chen is keeping her there for romantic reasons, assuming students in the Dragon Kingdom love foreign girls like her. She concludes that Chen must be the same. Lin Kai then asks Chen not to use violence against her, saying she'll be his wildest horse. I hope that you liked today's video, and if you did, hit that like button as today's like goal is 1,500 likes. Comment part 2 down below for the next part. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.